This is why I don't wear mascara, because I'd be Tammy's favorite now. Look it up, kids. You know, I don't write things down. I barely make a shopping list. I just wander around Wegmans. But this really hit home for me. If anybody wants one, get one too. I'm not defined by my age or my mistakes. I am 42 years old, and I have made a lot of mistakes that I, for the past 23 years, have beaten myself up over. And one of them is, well, it's, you know, looking back at my 18-year-old self, I have felt like, oh my God, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Reason why I was surviving. I came from a neighborhood outside of New York where white meets bread. Very suburban. We had a block party. Very, very simple. Very, very middle class. Certainly nothing pretentious or, you know, fancy. And I certainly wasn't. As you can tell, I'm wearing my best yoga pants. I can't, oh my God, whoever invented these, I want to hug them. But, no, true. So, you know, but the problem was, what you saw on the outside in our neighborhood certainly wasn't what was on the inside. And my father has an MBA. He's very smart, he's very savvy, but he is determined. He is very, he doesn't have emotion, as Malcolm shared. He, you know, and I think that also had to do with my mother. And if anybody was here the last time, my mother made September 11th and my first communion about her. So what would you do? You'd go basically into a shell of yourself. So you had a woman and you had a guy who got together in their early 20s and they still had baggage. And they popped out 2 kids. And I always said, and this goes back 20 years, I feel like it was, they were the kitten in the desert syndrome. And this, honest to God, this is original. It hit me like out of the blue. And it's like everybody in my family, my brother, myself, my parents, we're all in a desert, and we have our own canteen. And we can't, this is all we have, this is all we can spare. But you see the cutest little new kitten, like with the biggest eyes, you wish you could give it to them, but you can't. And that's how my childhood was. And as a result, it was tough for me to ask for help. You know, like if I loved to dance, and I was very good at singing, and I was very creative. I was like a politician, I could bullshit anybody. And I did. So, just leave it. And so, as a result, that part of me was shut down. So, as if that wasn't enough, in my puberty, my wonderful teenage years, I was, in 3 years, I was going through puberty. My parents divorced, my papa died, and my mom literally went nuts. And here I was, the little kid, and nobody would give me anything from their canteen. So, one day, in my guidance counselor's office in my high school, he writes down 5 community colleges because there was no way in hell I was going to get into a real college. I could bullshit my way in, but my grade said otherwise. And he wrote down all these community college names. Now here I am, 17 years old, still a virgin. And no, I was. This isn't a technical Lewinsky thing. And I said, Herkimer! So here I am, picked a college that I wanted to go to, signed up on the spot, no research, no nothing, at 18 years old. And from that point on until I was about 22, I was flying by the seat of my pants and in the palm of God. I was actually homeless. I couch surfed. And I didn't have any place to live, and my parents wouldn't help because it wasn't within them. And for years after I got my crap together, and now I'm happily married, and I still beat myself up. And now I'm 42, and I feel like I have nothing to show for it. you know. And then sometimes I have to be a coach and kind of perk myself up and say, wait a minute, in your 30s you completed 4 half marathons, you were an intern at Channel 8, you did all these amazing things, you hosted a very successful comedy open mic every other Friday, equal grounds. Shameless plug. And I am more open than I was. So to make a very long story short, that I want everybody here to please do not beat yourself up. You are on your own path, and that's my story.